But it's a Rover. Yeah, but it's a GTI. Right, today you now join me in front of my bumper, which is laying on the floor, which if you watched my last video, you saw how to take a bumper off the back of it. Reason for it is I'm going to be installing some car parking sensors. The ones I've got, they're just audible. They don't make, they don't have the LCD screen, because some people have that in order to determine what distances. This is just going to be a beep or a constant beep or a gentle beep, I guess. The further away you are, the less it beeps. Less road runnery. They're red, however, they are more vibrant than the colour of the body. I'm okay with that. It'll kind of blend in. So what I want to do is, now that I've got the bumper off, I'm going to make 4 holes in the back of this. They're actually slightly marked up with like these little tiny circles that are on the back, because some Rovers did come with parking sensors. So I need to pop 4 holes in so that I can essentially clip these into the place. It comes with the drill bit that's required, so that you don't really even have to worry about any of that sort of stuff. Cables that are going to go behind it, going to get cable tied up, so they're on the back here, and there's already a bung which is missing. So what will happen is these cables will get cable tied up, go through that bung, they get connected into this wonderful little box that I've got just here. This box is what all of these parking sensors connect to. They've got like these little sort of connectors that are built into the back of them, and also this buzzer gets connected in there. And lastly, we've got this wire. Now the purpose of this wire is, one of them, the red one, is to draw power, which that power will be drawn from the reversing light. So as soon as you put the car into reverse, white light comes on, power gets sent to this black line down to the ground. And fortunately on this side there is already a ground which is attached to one of the lights. You'll be able to see it in your Haynes manual, you'll be able to see it in the back, because when you take the lights off you have to unscrew it to do so. There's like a relay that's attached to it. That'll be grounded there, and in turn when someone or something goes past it, like I say, it'll beep, it'll buzz, it'll get faster the closer you get, and then it'll be a constant one once you're on there. So yeah, this wonderful little kit that I've got here cost me £11 off eBay. Bobby bargain. The amount of fun and enjoyment I'm going to have installing it, whoa, only time will tell. So yeah, feel free to watch me install this. It's going to be good fun for me. Oh, and in fact, one last thing before I do start it. In the bumper itself, there was some polystyrene. I don't want to call it crash protection. Apparently it's crash protection. Maybe if it was a gentle nudge, it's crash protection, but it doesn't feel like it will physically do much in an actual rear collision. That has to be removed beforehand so you can start making your holes in the bumper itself. So I'm going to get on and start doing this, and yeah, let's get it sorted. Okay, so what I've done is drilled a couple pilot holes, so I'm going to show you here. So I've done, well, I've actually done 2 here. Ended up with 1 here and 1 here. This is the correct one, which is just at the top there, but fortunately the one where I made a mistake falls neatly within inside the circle that will get cut out, so I was very lucky there. But that's the right one. This one, and this one. So the way that it's worked, or the way that I've done it, is on these rear clips I've gone 5.5 centimeters to there, 5.5 centimeters to that one, because I'd only done 5, but it's 5.5 centimeters. And then with respects to this one, I've gone 10 centimeters out, 5.5 centimeters in, 10 centimeters out, 5.5 centimeters in, and I've checked this one and this one is in line together. And with respects to this one, besides checking that it's in line here, I've gone from this point to this point, which is 15 centimeters, this point to this point, which is 15 centimeters, and then checked these 2 here. It looks slightly squiff, only because this is curved ever so slightly. So because of that, it sort of makes it look a bit weird, but it is correct with regards to where they're supposed to be. So now I've done these pilot holes on the back, I'm going to flip it over. These get masked up on the front in order to minimize any damage that can be done to this and to stop any additional flaking. And then they'll be drilled from the front outwards. And I'll be using this pilot hole to guide the drill bit that is attached to my drill through the holes. So I'm going to go do that now. Right, you return to me after I have cut these holes. So all of these are in the back of the bumper now. What I'm now going to do is get my parking sensors, feed them through the back of here, and then on the back of the bumper itself, they'll get cable tied around here to keep it nice and neat, ready to go through that bung just there. So I'm going to get these installed, and you'll soon see what it looks like with them installed. And here we have it. The parking sensors have now been attached to the back. They stand out a little bit because the rest of the bumper's dirty and these are bright red at the moment, but I think once they also get a little dirty, or if everything's clean, but let's just assume everything's dirty, then I think they'll blend in a little bit better. All right, let's get them wired in. Right, so we return with the back of this. The, I don't know, crash protection foam is there. Cables up through that hole, and there's loads of rubbish in the boot, ignore that. They're now plugged into the back of this. They are labelled A, B, C, D, and it goes A, B, C, D, so I kind of had to do that beforehand and plug them in so I knew which bit's going to go where. But as the bumper comes back up and on, well, and then bolt it back in, at least they'll all be in the right place. And then we should be good to start putting the bumper back, getting it all tightened up, get those lights put back on. Right, and here we have it. We've got the bumper on. I'm sure you can see at the moment, eagle-eyed viewers, that I've put my other mud flaps on. I just test fitted them at the moment. I don't like the way they sit because they stick out further and they're ever so slightly, as you can see, on the wonk. But they need to get straightened out, and I will get those straightened out. Just don't have the patience to do it right now. I think what I've done, or what I need to do, is, because I've made the hole slightly larger, is I'm going to go get myself some C-clips and screws to go in there, because I tried using the plastic ones that came with the kit and they're not very good. But because I made the holes slightly larger, not large enough to use those C-clips, but definitely large enough for me to use, sorry, not large enough to use those plastic clips that they came with, but large enough to use C-clips, then I can adjust those so they'll sit properly, because it looks like I did the top ones ever so slightly out of line. But, you know, these things happen. Still, the bumper is back on, and as you can see, I've got me parking sensors in play. It's only attached via 2 bolts at the moment. I'm just slowly going around and putting all the bolts back in now that it's sitting there. Right, so there you go. I'll step back a little bit. Rear lights in, rear lights back in. Bumper is all attached again, so happy days. All the back of this side is all back together. I'm now currently left with a tangled web of wires. Don't worry about the messiness of the boot. It's all full of bits, coolant, because, you know, Rover. Right, so I've left this light cluster out at the moment. I mean, I can clip it back in for the time being, which it just clips in there. But hopefully, if I try and zoom in, so this bit needs to be hooked back up, which I'll do in a moment. But just under there, oh, where's my finger? Just under there, you can see that's where the ground is. So it will. And we're back ever so slightly later than what I anticipated, because in the meantime of me starting this job, I had the car taken off to get the thermostat changed. So I've had to put it on pause, but we return. Last time, or 10 seconds ago, you saw that I had this. It was a mess of wires and I had to wire it in. So what I've done is I have just over here, you can see that I've got the ground all done. And then this red wire, which is not cable tied to absolutely anything, can loose as anything, is now in the reverse light pin. And then all of that web of rubbish comes down to here. We've got our little buzzer as well. I'm only here on my own. So the way that I've tested this is I've jerry-rigged up this lovely socket set so that it's close to that sensor. And then when I pop it into reverse gear, you'll hear it beep, and then it beeps of a reasonable speed. So what I'm going to do now is, well, I suppose, set this up on the tripod, and then you'll be able to see it in action. So I'll see you guys in a second. Or rather, you won't see me in a second. You'll hear the car running and that buzzer beeping. So I hope you enjoy the beautiful sounds of beeping buzzers and the wind, which has just blown that toolbox over. It's a good day today. Oh, and look, my rear mud flaps are on. Mint. See you guys in a minute. Bye. Right, so I return. What I've done is I've got everything hooked up as you've seen just before, and all I want you to see now is me testing it with something near there. So I've got my bin. If I just rotate this around, here's my bin. Green is for non-recyclables, which is really weird because where I lived before, green used to be for recyclables, but still, which confuses me and I don't like it. Blue's for recyclables. That's the thing with councils, they don't streamline this stuff and it blows my mind. But this is completely off topic. Why I have set this up is because you've got the beeper thing at the top, the buzzer there, you can see the sensor and you can see when the car gets put into reverse, the light will come on and hopefully you should be able to hear it beep. So I'll do it with where the bin is at the moment, which is probably about a metre away, and then I'm going to move it closer so that you can see the difference, or hear the difference. You won't be able to see the difference because it makes a sound. Right, just get inside the car, pop into reverse. Can you hear it's beeping a couple times? It's beep, 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 beep. So it's a steady beep there with it being around about a metre away. Take it out of reverse, walk in front of the camera. Look at that, professional. Bring my bin closer now, so we're around about, what's that, 15 centimetres away. In fact, you might be able to see it in shot now. So if I turn this around, you can see how close the bin is to the car. So, get back in, foot on the clutch, into reverse, and then you can hear it's a constant beep now to let you know that you're really close to what's there. So, yeah, I think that's a success. It seems to work quite nicely, and I'll give you a little conclusion in a moment. Okie doke, so let's give ourselves a little update on here. So first off, still got this here. All I need to do now is get the sticky pads, and I'm going to stick a pad on the back of this and a pad on the back of this, and then these are going to go tucked behind here over there, so out the way, and then this will get put back up onto it. Put the tools away, of course, because that's an important aspect to do. And once I've got those bits stuck up on there, then that will be the addition of these parking sensors onto the vehicle all sorted out. Maybe I'll give you a little test of what it's like sitting inside the vehicle in a moment. Right, you return with me in the car, in a car park. This time I'm in Audi's car park. I sure like to hang around at supermarket car parks. Yeah. Anyway, there's other supermarkets you can go to. The reason why I've come to this one is, as you can see behind me, there is a fence. So what I'm going to do now is drive forwards just a little bit, wait for this car to go past because I don't want to crash into it, and then drive forwards just a little bit more. Whee! All right, pop myself into reverse. You hear it beep the once, and then I'm going to reverse back. Should beep. Oh, I'm getting close. You getting close? You're getting a bit closer. And there it is. It's telling me that I've got quite close to the end. It is a bit weird that when you come off it, it does like a gentle woo. I'm guessing that's because whatever sits inside it, I'm assuming there's some sort of capacitor that holds a little bit of charge, and then it's dissipating that charge at the end, which makes that very depressing woo sound. But you can see the parking sensors work. It was relatively straightforward and easy. I had to take the bumper off anyway, which you saw me do in a previous video. And I took that opportunity to put the rear mud flaps on at the same time. So now they're on and it looks all good. And I'm very happy with the way that it turned out. I mean, as it stands, it's doing that solid beep, and I'm probably 30 centimeters, maybe 40 centimeters away from what's behind me. Look at the rear mirror. If you look at the bumper, it probably then is about 30 centimeters away. So it gives you more than enough space to make sure that you don't drive into anything. Very straightforward job, really easy, minimal tools required. Just needed a 8mm socket for taking off that bolt at the back, but then that's dependent upon what you'll need for yours. With regards to crimping the wires in, I needed the wire crimps, and then you need to be able to strip the wire as well. The parking sensor kit, a little bit of electrical insulation tape because I don't want to make I want to make sure the connection doesn't separate. I'm afraid of it, that sort of thing. Yeah, I think that was about it really. And then just the unwavering absence of fear, cutting into some form of electrical thing on your vehicle in order to make it work, which, meh, if you're driving around in an old POS, then I don't think you really care whether it goes wrong or not, because you can spend forever putting it back together. If it's your normal day-to-day and you're a competent individual, give it a go. If you're not competent, then give it a go anyway. But, you know, if it goes wrong, just make sure you can get somebody that can sort it. That's all I can say. But I've really enjoyed today. It's took me out and about, and yeah, thank you very much for taking the time to watch. If you like my video, please give it a like, please subscribe, give me a comment, tell me what you want, tell me what you like, and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy yourself, guys. Bye bye.